The leg feels a lot better now, boss. I've always been a quick healer. Of course, I believe in Jesus, so that helps. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xerath Prevails. Guys, I wanted to talk a little bit about the thing that the developers announced a while ago, the Developers versus Community event that is going to be really awesome, hopefully. And I'm just not sure what it's gonna be like. And so I'd like to ask you guys what you think, who you think should be selected. I would obviously really like to do it. Obviously, GAC is my bread and butter. And I guess I'd give you guys a tiny bit of context in case you haven't heard of it. So the developers in their Road Ahead post about a month ago gave us a lot of new things to chew on as a community, including balance changes for the game and the announcement that we're getting Lord Vader, we're getting Maul, Robot Legs Maul, hopefully get some information on those two this coming week. But amidst all of this stuff, and the one that I'm fixated most on is the Developers versus Community event for GAC. So what's going to happen is they're going to have community members facing off against developers. You assume it's for publicity. They're not just doing it for fun, for free. They're trying to make money off of it in some way, even if it's indirectly. And so they want, it's going to be this big deal. They're going to make a big deal of it. And obviously I want it because exposure would be great for this channel. And I just keep wondering, what are my chances of actually getting in on it? I'm just not sure. So, I mean, I guess what I'll talk about first is what I think the criteria should be, and then what I think CG is ultimately going to be doing. So first you have to think, like I said just now, they're going to be trying to make money off of this. And actually, why don't we real quick, let's cut to some B-reel footage. You guys don't need to watch me just kind of twitch in my chair. Alright, so this is just B-reel footage from one of my previous, most recent matches. Don't watch it or not, you can just listen to it. This could be like a podcast thing, but one way or another. Anyways, so why should they select me? Frankly, why should I be the one to do it? I don't know. I obviously love GAC. I love being able to discuss it, to represent it and everything. There's a lot of different things. If you guys watch my channel, it is most likely either for GAC or because you can't stand not knowing what movie quote I'm going to put at the very start of my videos, which is fun. It's been a fun development. But anyways, I don't necessarily think like there's not a, I don't know. What am I trying to say? I think I'd be a great candidate. I don't know that they're going to select me. So first, let's get it straight. I'm pretty sure it's going to be community members. Doesn't mean just like randoms from the community. So they're going to do, this is going to be a publicity thing, right? It's not just going to be behind closed doors and like 5 people have a cool experience. Like, oh man, I got to fight against the developers. This was super awesome. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be like, well, guys, the developers are going to face the community. Let's see who's better. Like, let's make a big deal of it. Let's have everyone watch. We're going to link to people's channels, or we're going to pre-record stuff, and we're going to, and honestly, if I'm not going to get publicity for it, then I don't want to do it. Like we recently just did a thing with CG, and they came in on our podcast and talked about the new changes and everything, and that was great. And I was just a little sad they didn't post anything on their forums. I probably should have asked. I'm not complaining about it, but like, we did it for the publicity and because we cared about the community getting answers, etc. But I mean, that was a huge part of the currency, right? We wanted that. And so they're going to have to offer that to developers. I'm probably not going to just do it for free unless I get something out of it, including publicity. And so I don't think, can you imagine though, this is going to sound maybe a little elitist. I don't think we're going to get a random, because I think this is a lot harder than a lot of people think it is. Trying to speak without saying is challenging enough. not to mention trying to make sure that your quality, your recording quality is good, your commentary is relevant and accurate, making sure that your stream, if you're streaming, that you're talking to the chat, that you're doing, there's any number of factors that make this a much more difficult thing than it looks like. It's not just, oh, I play the game well. It's like playing the game well while also monitoring a ton of different things, talking to chat, trying to be entertaining, trying to do all this stuff. And frankly, there's probably a ton of people in the community that could develop those skills, but they don't have it yet. It takes a long time to develop it. I think my favorite comments are from people who are like, yeah, I tried to stream a few times and I'm done, because it's way harder than it looks. There's a lot more factors. And so, can you imagine how off-putting it would be to just get a random player in on it who doesn't know how to do any of this stuff and just like ring them in? Like that would be off-putting. That's not going to be a good way of handling things for them, for publicity. That just looks like the people playing are just lost, frankly. Even if they're good players, I don't think it's a wise choice by CG. So I think they're going to pick content creators, and they have to pick content creators who play the game that they play. They also have to get a draw. Like if we just get someone who's random, no one knows in the community who they are, then that's also a fail, because no one's going to come and watch. Like if you get Arnold to come and play, the whole world, the whole game is going to come and play, because everyone knows who he is. If you get Cubs, same thing. You know, Urs is also in there. If you get me, I have about 6,000, less than 6,000 subs on this YouTube channel, and I don't know, 6,000 people know who I am. Maybe we probably have double that, who have ventured their way through my world here, and that's great. That's wonderful. I don't know if I have enough clout in the community to be able to reasonably expect that. Now, they did listen to me in the sense that I was a, you know, they wouldn't give me the time of day until I mentioned that I was a partner on Twitch, and then they kind of, you know, they were like, oh yeah, sure, like we can do that, and we got a pretty good crowd, etc. for the one interview we got. So maybe I could get as one of the only 3 Twitch partners in this game right now, currently, because Arnold could have it, but he just does YouTube instead. So me, Cubs, and Urs are the only partners. I feel like we might have a good chance, but they also have a really strong relationship with Operation Metaverse. I don't know how many people they're choosing, and I'm not sure who they're going to select. Now, the other factor is, not only is it going to be content creators, what are they going for? They're going to, like, Urs puts on a great show, but is that what they're going for? They're going for a great show, or they're going for technical expertise and people who can explain the game in really specific ways? Are they going to go for somewhere in the middle? They're going to go for relatively unknown people so that they, and just like, you know, hope for it. They're probably going to have to trust the content creators to some degree so that they don't just completely ruin their plans somehow. I'll be really interested to see, like, is entertainment and really high quality production value, is that what they're going to go for? I'm just really not sure. It would seem to me, though, like they should choose someone who knows how to play, who can explain the game in really basic terms to people who don't know how to play, and you can explain, like, okay, well, I'm not just attacking this guy because I only have a basic remaining. I'm selecting this specific guy because this basic causes tenacity down on people, and that tenacity down makes it way easier to debuff them. Like, being able to explain these game mechanics seems like a really important aspect so that they can use it, like I said, for marketing, to show, like, hey, this isn't just your run-of-the-mill, like, 3-button mashing, you know, whatever you push works kind of game. There's a lot of complexity, a lot of interesting stuff to it. So I don't know. And in the end, what I think is going to happen is they're going to choose some of the guys who they already have good relationships with. Like, I would be shocked out of my mind if they did not select Operation Metaverse, for instance, because they've been on their show a few times. They know them. They just hang out with them. The developers do. I think that GOM and T-Money will get that for sure. Now, I think that they would be foolish not to choose Arnold as well if he'll go with them. I know that they've had their beefs in the past. I won't comment on that, but I mean, Arnold has the crowd. He'll get everyone in on it. He'll also, I think that Urz and Cubs also make a lot of sense. A lot of people in the community have known about them for a very long time. Are we gonna get like it's just Ian? He's about 15K subs. He knows he's got like 3 times my audience. Or are they gonna choose someone who's more specialized in GAC like myself? Does my co-host Solo Base 15 does he have a shot at it? I'm curious what you guys think. What should it be? I think I have a chance, at least, because I've had discussions with them. They know who I am. They know that I'm not necessarily going to be hostile to them immediately, and that, you know, I at least speak for a corner of the GAC crowd. So anyways, guys, I've been rambling for a while. We can cut it. We can cut this down now. I don't know. I would really love it if we could make this happen. If I could actually get this to work. There's also the fact that if they don't let us use our own accounts, it's gonna be super bizarre. We're gonna have to develop a new strategy entirely. I've given thought to that too, but we don't really have time for that right this moment. So I'm just gonna call it good, guys. Thanks for watching. Please let me know in the comments who should be selected. What do you guys want? I mean, ultimately it should be for the community, right? Like, that's what we're doing it for, at least presumably. And then CG just kind of gets the benefit of a bunch of publicity and marketing after that, and get people into the game, get more engagement, etc. But ultimately, what do you guys want to see? I would love to hear what you think in the comments. Should I be selected? Why? Don't say mean things, or say mean things if you want. I might delete you, I might not. We'll find out. It's a fun game, folks, and stuff. So, that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Xerath prevails. Hopefully he prevails at getting in on this, because it would be huge. Huge, I tell you.